Hey guys, it's Girl Got Game. Welcome back to Never Forget Me. We're here to do Hugh's first sad ending. So there's only a couple of scenes that we're going to do differently. This is not the one where we're going to cheat with Lewis yet. So if you're here for that, then you gotta wait one more video. This first ending does not involve that. We have two different scenes, and then we should... Well, actually, one of the different scenes is the last scene. So we really only have to do this one, and then we can get the ending. Otherwise, I picked all the same options from the second happy end up to this point. So this time we'll look for the ring later, because this won't go well at all for us, apparently. You're right. And if you just misplaced it this morning or whatever, I'm sure it'll turn up soon. He says nothing and grabs the keys from the bowl beside the door. I hurriedly slip on my jacket and rush after him. Hugh's lost ring still weighing in the recesses of my mind. Later that night, after we've returned from the party, and as Hugh's finishing up his nightly routine, I sit meekly in the large king-size bed. I'm still worrying about the ring, but I'm unsure how to bring it up. I don't want to start another fight, but at the same time, Hugh promised that we'd look for it together after the party. If he lost it recently, then it shouldn't be too hard to find. So, where did you see your ring last? Do you think it'd be on the nightstand? Maybe under some mail or something? Amy, I don't want to do this right now. Can't we just go to bed? Hugh's voice echoes from the bathroom. But you promised we'd look for it after the party, remember? This means a lot to me. We're probably not going to find it, okay? It'll turn up eventually. It's nothing to lose sleep over. When did you lose it? Maybe you could retrace your steps. I can denote a twinge of guilt in his voice. It's been a while. How long? Like a couple of months. What? I lost it sometime during the move. Maybe it fell into a box that's tucked away in our closet. I don't know. Tears begin to roll down my cheeks. The ring. He lost it months ago and didn't bother to tell me? Worse yet, even I didn't notice. Wedding rings are supposed to be a big deal. How did he lose it so easily? And how did I not notice? I try to cry quietly so as not to alarm Hugh, but apparently my hushed gasps for breath carry over into the bathroom. Hugh enters the bedroom, his green exfoliating mask still smeared on his face. Nice pajamas, by the way. I'm kind of disappointed we don't see the mask on his face. Amy, what's wrong? Are you crying? He sits on the edge of the bed and takes my hand. He lowers his voice to a whisper in an attempt to reassure me. Amy, it's really not that big of a deal. This sort of thing happens all the time. I can get a new ring. A better one. We've got more money now. I didn't care for the old one that much anyway. It's not the same. That ring was special, Hugh. It can't be replaced. Quit being so sentimental. It's just a ring. What it symbolizes is what's important. Don't get the two confused. He pats my hand, then stands and pulls washcloth out of the linen closet, returning to his pre-sleep routine. We'll go to the jewelry store and get a new one tomorrow. How's that sound? And we'll pick out a little something for you too, as an apology. I whimper a pathetic sounding, okay, only to be met by a half-hearted, "Atta girl," from Hugh. I roll over and smother my sobs with my pillow, wondering how Hugh could be so callous. Oh, so sad. Well, no sexy elephant time that time. Alright, and on that note, I'll bring you in for the ending, guys. Alright, and just like that, here we are. Time to accept this crazy woman's offer. Make her happy. Accept. Achievement unlocked. Not appropriate at work. Oh my. I need some time to think this over. Maria releases an appalled grunt, then speaks again. Ugh. You're testing my patience. Let me remind you, Amy, that patience is not a commodity I have a surplus of. I bite my lip, nervous about the possibility of scaring her away. At least let me consult my husband. Maria retorts with a gesture that's somewhere between a shrug and a nod, then pulls out her BlackBerry and absent-mindedly scrolls through it while I pick up my phone's receiver and dial Hugh's extension. Honestly, Hugh and I haven't spoken much lately. He's been distant, and I've learned that the best thing to do is give him space in order to sort his feelings out. I suspect the issue is that he thinks something is going on between Lewis and I. Regardless of how he's feeling at the moment, I know he'll want to share his input in the situation. After several seconds of ringing, I'm curtly met with a dial tone. Weird. Let me try his cell instead. I whip out my smartphone and dial his number, only to find that my call goes straight to voicemail. Hugh is usually good about answering his phone. Is he ignoring me? Hugh's not answering. I'm just going to run to his office real quick. It'll only take a few minutes. Maria lets slip a small groan, not unlike that of a zombie, as she continues to stare at her phone screen. I guess it was more of a, On my way out, I pass by my assistant, who quickly downsizes her Google search of world's cutest cats upon seeing me, and promise her a hefty bonus if she can somehow manage to keep Maria from vacating my office while I'm gone. She murmurs something about a trip to Brazil while gazing dreamily at a travel brochure featuring a tan, shirtless man tacked to her wall. I make my way through the office building, moving at nothing short of a sprint. I'm a little worried as to what we're going to find. I transition into a brisk walk as I approach Hugh's secretary, who greets me in a startled manner. She informs me that Hugh doesn't want to be disturbed, while she repeatedly presses one of the many buttons that line the office phone's front. Frustrated, I push past her and enter my husband's office anyway. He's seated behind his sleek, modern desk just as usual, but his expression is somewhat off, and his usually perfectly manicured hair is slightly askew. Who's hiding under the desk? Trying to look busy, he pulls a paper from a nearby stack and hastily scribbles on it. I notice that his hands are shaking. Did my secretary not tell you I was busy? Probably lost in a game of solitaire again. I've been meaning to fire her. No, she told me, but this was important. And my privacy isn't? Hugh snaps at me with a ferocious nastiness, then seems to regain his composure to some degree, although he still seems very on edge. Look, you don't understand. You would be even more upset with me if I didn't bother you about this, trust me. Pfft, right. Hey, I know you've been crabby lately, but this rudeness is totally uncalled for. I stride across the office in order to bridge the gap between us, half tempted to slap him upon arrival. There's someone under the desk. Hugh holds his hands up and waves them wildly and anxiously. What are you doing? Stay back! I have a rash. It's contagious. You were fine this morning. How do you contract a rash in only a few I stop abruptly, startled by what I see. Yeah. From the waist up, Hugh looks completely professional, but as I round the corner of his desk, I see that he's not wearing any pants. What the... I don't care how hot it is, that's not appropriate in the workplace. It's then that I notice the missing piece of this bewildering puzzle, bringing clarity. Why Hugh didn't want to be disturbed, why his pants are missing. Molly! I'm so disappointed in you. Underneath the desk, desperately covering her mouth so as not to make a noise, is Molly. That's really not appropriate in the workplace. I gotta go. Humiliated, I turn to leave, but Hugh bolts up and grabs my wrist. Look, this was a one-time thing, honest. I figured you and Lewis... I was angry and I just wanted to hurt you. Molly means nothing to me, I swear. A gasp escapes from Molly's covered mouth and I see her eyes brim with tears. Now you get no girls. I tear my gaze away from her and examine Hugh's face, closely scrutinizing his features in a desperate search for truth. His eyes have a hard time focusing on mine and eventually shift left and settle on a stationary position on the floor. I don't believe you. Goodbye, Hugh. He lurches forward, desperately clawing after me. I'm sorry, I'm having a hard time, taking this seriously, because I'm just picturing him with, he looks like he's got a turtleneck and stuff, but he's got, no pants on underneath. It's just, I can't. Goodbye? Like, you quit, or you want a divorce? What the hell do you think? Without another word, I leave the office, slamming the door in my wake. When I arrive at my own office, I almost immediately shout, "I accept," at Maria, then embarrassedly turn away. My words were more emotionally charged than I had intended. "Thank goodness, darling. I was starting to second-guess your judgment." She eyes me curiously, dropping her flamboyant demeanor for a moment. "I'll be in touch, dear. Feel free to contact me if you need anything at all." She places her hand on my shoulder and her rings make a clinking noise as they bang together. "Let's grab coffee or something later, all right? My treat." I nod silently, frantically trying not to lose my composure. She exits and I wait until I hear the door click behind me before erupting into fits of uncontrollable sobs. Not appropriate at work. Well, my poem is, "Neither should a ship rely on one small anchor, nor should life rest on a single hope." Epictetus? Something. Sometime later, we got the creativity ending of The Self-Made Woman. I sort through the numerous letters spread across my desk. My receptionist is the one who goes through all of my mail, only forwarding the letters that she deems important my way. We also made our office look exactly like Hugh's. It's hard to believe that this many fit the bill. They occupy most of the top of my mahogany desk, reaching all the way to my CEO Amarantha Fitch nameplate on the far edge of it. I begin sifting through the various letters. I notice a pungent smell has accompanied their arrival, and it occurs to me that one of the letters must have been imbued with perfume. I seek out the particular parcel, and I'm surprised to see a familiar name and address printed across its front. I rip into the letter, more perfume seemingly wafts into my face as I do, and hastily review its contents. It's an invitation to attend a new event from Hugh's company, and the after-party that immediately follows. They're launching a new perfume line, featuring unimaginative names like Passion and Mystique. A smile momentarily forms on my face, but quickly flits away. I tear the letter to shreds, then carelessly toss it in the wastebasket beside my desk. He was veered into the realm of perfume, eh? Now that sounds like a venture I'd like to try. Hehe. I grin mischievously, then pick up the receiver and dial Maria's number. Wow. Savage. Savage Amy is savage, everybody. Well, Molly got her wish, I guess. And then got her heart broken immediately after. Right. Oof. Well, that was rough. But not as rough as the second sad ending's probably going to be, because I'm going to have to hold back all my vomit and not throw up on Lewis this time. So if you don't want to see that, whichever, if you want to watch Lewis get Amy this time around, I hope to see you at the second sad ending. Until then, see you later, guys.